Boy, oh boy, a lot of people in Hollywood and the tech sector caught up in something that just came out a few days ago. This is Tony. Hope you're all doing well. And actually, we got a crazy amount of stuff to get into in this video. George Clooney being caught up, Tim Cook from Apple, and actually a host of others as well. And this thing runs pretty deep. We're going to get into that. We're going to get into also something from Disney and a ton of other stuff. Some bizarre things I'm going to cover over my other channel as well. Let's just get into this. We'll start with Disney here. Rare win for Disney. Disney's latest animated short sparked controversy online after some viewers accused the company of promoting traditional values. The film, which depicts a loving couple and the creation of new life, has praised by some for its emotional storytelling, but others criticized it. What they saw as a return to conservative. This is so hilarious. Apparently, a man and woman getting together and having a child is now considered right-wing. Okay. This is where we're at, apparently. Disney has not commented on the backlash, but the short continues to trend, as most fans argue, refreshingly wholesome in today's cultural environment. This is the kind of insanity going on right now. I don't know. How did we get to this place? How did we get to a point where normal stuff is considered a political thing? I don't know. It's kind of weird, right? But that's just the beginning of this, my friends. We got George Clooney getting caught up in this whole SPLC drama. 1 million donation to the Southern Poverty, of course, Law Center, now tied to funding, apparently hate. He, of course, claimed that he was fighting hate, and he's literally giving to a organization that was funding groups that it was allegedly against. That's what we have now learned. Even Charlottesville was a part of this as well. So this organization was literally giving money. SPLC here was giving money to the KK, K, and a number of other groups that are considered hate. They were giving money to them, paying the leaders to actually continue what they're doing, just so they had a boogeyman to fight, apparently. And then they could label anybody and everybody as part of that when no one was actually involved, to the point where they had to literally fund it to keep it afloat. Southern Poverty, of course, Law Center indicted on charges that it fraudulently paid informants in these groups, literally paying those heading the groups themselves, paid $70K to a neo something, Yahtzee, we'll call it Yahtzee, right? Group, and actually a ton of others. So we'll get into all of it. We're just getting started. We had Tim Cook giving money to him and a ton of other organizations and people. First of all, I got to mention Food Supply, 25-year shelf life. Link is in the description. You definitely want to get this. If you have not already, you've seen all the insanity around us. Link is in the description for it. 3 months for $7.97. It includes also the free Mega Protein Kit. And also there's a lot of other options. You can choose from anything on the list. You can just go to this link and there's a ton of stuff on the front page. Go check it out. Link is in the description. Lots of different options. This book here, The Lost Ways, How Your Great-Great-Grandfather Lived Without Electricity, How to Build a Cellar, Do Things Around the House if you had an extended period of time without power due to a war, due to power outages from flooding or whatever it might be. You're going to definitely want to get this. It's only $37 to get the printed version, so that if you had no electricity, you could read it. Link is in the description. Also go check out our game that we're developing. We have opportunity for investors to get involved, $400 to get a seat with 700 other shareholders. 33% of no VR profits are set aside for those that get involved. Go check it out. And go check us out on all our other social media, link below, X, Rumble, etc., etc. Let's get back to the video. So we have here George Clooney. Is he the next Soros? 2 weeks after the Unite, of course, the Right rally occurred, that this is who donated to the SPLC. George and Emma Clooney. So George Clooney giving $1 million. Apple Tim Cook $1 million. JP Morgan Chase $500K. Split from $1 million total with the AD, of course, L. MGM Resorts $1 million. And we find out now that this particular organization was literally funding the groups that it claimed to be fighting. And here you have back a little over a year ago, or no, a little less than a year ago. No, it was more than a year ago. What am I talking about? Kamala here falsely accusing Trump of coddling the Charlottesville people. Check this out. This is pretty interesting.
Let's remember Charlottesville, where there was a mob of people carrying tiki torches, spewing anti-Semitic hate. And what did the president then at the time say? There were fine people on each side.
Yeah, he wasn't saying it about those specific people. Actually, if you look at the context of what was being said, which of course this has been debunked, although there's people even years after it was said, still thinking he said something he didn't say. But it was also on top of that, apparently the SPLC was funding those at Charlottesville. The thing probably would have never even happened in the first place if they weren't funding it, those that claim to be fighting it. That's another factor they don't tell you. Kind of interesting, you might ask. Here's the proof of what I'm talking about. They invested $270,000 in Charlottesville and got $81 million in additional donations. Extraordinary returns. So they invested $270K in Charlottesville to make this hate, of course, right? And then after that, they actually gained and garnered another $81 million from all the publicity of it. Literally, I mean, what would you call this, my friends? It's all completely manufactured. Kind of crazy, actually. We got this here as well. High-profile donors like George Clooney and Tim Cook and others stay silent after nonprofit indicted over alleged $3 million hate, of course, group. You know, they're basically giving money to informants. Is it some sort of scheme that they were pulling off? Let's see what we got down here. Big name donors include George Clooney. Soros have stayed silent amid allegations that the nonprofit funneled more than $3 million to these groups. They were charged with wire fraud, bank fraud, money laundering on Wednesday for allegedly bankrolling at least 8 leaders and members of these extremist, apparently, groups, all behind the backs of deep-pocketed benefactors. Foundations of George Clooney, MGM Resorts, and others, of course, all involved. Kind of interesting, you might say. You got all these other celebrities. Tim Cook, JP Morgan Chase. I'm curious who else. I'm really curious who else was involved. Let's see. We got any other names? Any other names? I can't even type with this thing in front of me. All right, here we go. Let's see what it gives us. Is it going to work? There it goes. The other day it wasn't working too well. John Legend, Harry Styles, Rihanna, Leonardo DiCaprio, Mark Ruffalo. These names look very familiar. Mark Ruffalo totally hates, of course, the president. Says everyone's hateful, right? You got Leonardo DiCaprio, you got Meryl Streep, Barbra Streisand. Now, that's not really surprising either, is it? Miley Cyrus. Wow. Lots of people here. Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan Chase, Trevor Noah. Here we go. Trevor Noah, of course, Angelina Jolie, Billie Eilish, apparently a lot of people giving to this organization. And of course, so here you have Chuck Schumer. This administration's waging a vindictive campaign against organizations that safeguard our democracy. Yeah, they safeguard it by making up stuff, literally funding the ones they allegedly are fighting. This is not weaponizing the DOJ. This is such a joke, dude. These guys were literally funding the groups they were fighting against, allegedly, right? Making these like fake bad guys, I guess. I don't know what. I guess they wouldn't even exist. Maybe they wouldn't even exist if they weren't funding them in the first place, right? That's what I'm kind of wondering. Chuck Schumer crying, assault on democracy again. Translation, the DOJ indicted the SPLC for allegedly funding millions to actual groups that are extreme. Yeah, pretty much. Kind of funny, actually. I didn't think anybody was even following some of these groups anymore. Of course, then we recently had, and this was like about 5-6 days ago at this point that they were first caught, but a lot of people don't know who is really giving money to them? And you have to ask yourself, did they know what they were doing? Like George Clooney and some of these guys, they obviously would have told them probably at least more details to get them to give $1 million. Maybe not. I don't know. We don't know for sure. But we did have that event that happened, what was that, day before yesterday at this point, at that correspondence, dinner. And some are wondering if that's sort of like perhaps them trying to say there is people that are still bad out there. Because I'm going to cover it over my other channel. We got some crazy stuff that I found that have to do with all these scientists that disappeared and stuff. I got some crazy stuff to show you with regards to that over my other video, because we got some new information that came out and this really bizarre trail of information where it shows that people knew stuff beforehand. It's bizarre. It's almost like someone could see the future. Let's just put it that way. I'll get into that over my other channel. I'm not going to get into here because we got too many things to cover over here. But let's see. What else do we got here? We got... Okay, here we have... So some are wondering if this group was funding people that are, part of these hate, of course, groups, could there be other groups doing the exact sort of same type of modus operandi? Modus operandi, ACLU. You got ACT, of course, Blue, all these different groups, BLM. Could any of these groups also be doing very similar type of methodologies where they fund bad guys that they're trying to expose or get or, raise awareness to, whatever you want to call it? We've even literally seen it with the FBI, of course, we've seen it with them, right? We've seen it with a lot of different, this seems to be a very common thing that is being used, common tactic. Anyway, I think you get kind of the idea. Then we got this here. We have Donnie Wahlberg, Mark Wahlberg's brother. To the outside world, it's like you're at the top and I felt at the bottom. I talked to my wife and said, I have to connect with Jesus. I have to give my life to him now. Let's play this real quick.
And stuff like that are broken. Like, I'm realizing in this last year, man, I'm broken too. I'm broken too. And I woke up this morning and I've been doing this practice. Jenny and I Bible study together. We pray together. We do all the things. And I tell you, like, really should be just the interview about my wife, because I told her like over a year ago, I was building this show, the New Kids show in Las Vegas. And I said, I've been on and off, like really wanting to commit my life to Jesus. And then I would do it. I'd be like, but I didn't have the resources. Like, I grew up in a Catholic church. It's like, well, I'll just go to church and I'll figure it out. And I was like, it's different. So I'm missing something, missing a connection. And I didn't,
something deeper.
You would think I could have just turned on Instagram and watched you or somebody, all these people that I love so much now, and got some insight, but I just kept trying to do it myself. Because
yeah, you need help with other people involved in your life, helping you see the right thing to do at different times. Obviously, on top of that, just doing things, not just going to church, but doing things in society. Supporting things that you would think are obvious. Like I showed you in the beginning of this video, how Disney just simply put out a movie that showed a man and a woman having a baby. And it's like, oh my goodness, this is right wing or something. And it's just, this is what groups like the SPLC have done. They tried to connect traditional values to, of course, hate. And that's what we're seeing around us right now. This sort of warped mentality. And you're seeing it all throughout our society, not only with just something like that, but also you can see it with other things. You have Sophie here, Rain, that was an OF girl, says she made $83 million last year. She's buying cows, which is, I would say, a little bit different than usual. But you see that. It's just so weird, our society now, right? You have here pictures like this being circulated. I want our country to come back to God as well. But I think it has to be more than just surface level. It has to be something really, as Donnie was saying there, deeper, right? Donnie Wahlberg was talking about deeper than just going to church, just, sharing some meme online or something like that. With what's going on with feminism and all this stuff in our culture right now, you have even stuff like this. Japanese feminist Chizuko Unio, is that how you say her name? Talking about middle school, of course, boys, saying that they should ask older women to do things with them. I'm like, what are you talking about? And this is what we've seen, this weird trend with female teachers, by the way. There was 100 of them last year. 100. These are the ones that just got caught. 100 teachers last year got caught with under, of course, age. Okay, boys. And of course, a lot of guys are sort of retarded about it. Like, oh, look, he's lucky. I mean, dude, these are guys that are not even grown up at all. They're like, very young. It's like kind of insane how people are talking about this, right? But if it's vice versa, a male teacher and, female students, then it's like the exact opposite. Oh my God, lock them up, throw away the key. You see what I mean? Like it's a double standard. It's a complete obvious double standard. And you have them talking in such bizarre manners, like encouraging people not to be married, even saying you're not cool if you're married. They have these things like this coming out. They just put out these weird articles. My doctor husband is married to his job, so I sleep with other men. I mean, this is the kind of weird stuff you see peddled in our society today. It's just really gotten wonky, crazy, and we need to rein this all back to basically traditional values, normal stuff. I mean, honestly, they're telling us normal is crazy now, and they're saying crazy is normal, right? I mean, looking back at what I showed you earlier with regards to this organization, they simply posted or invested $270,000 in Charlottesville, and they got $81 million in donations, all based on a lie. Oh, look at what's going on. Hate everywhere. And they actually funded the groups that were part of it. Made this, isn't this basically a straw man? Isn't this essentially like a physical version of a straw man? You put up a fake character of something and then you break it down. That's basically what we're seeing here. This is literally it manifested in reality. And they made a ton of money off this, and you can see how much they've influenced our society. And just $1 million from George Clooney could have raised them $100 million. You see how that worked? I mean, you had George Clooney back here. I don't know if he knew that this is what they were doing or not. It's a good question, right? Did George Clooney know? Did Tim Cook know? Do any of these people know this? I mean, obviously he was one of the biggest donors to that organization. Tim Cook equaling him on the donations. You had, of course, JP Morgan Chase, Jamie Dimon, the CEO of JP Morgan Chase as well, donating $500K. MGM Resorts, also $1 million. But you had lots of other people also giving money, as I showed you here. Did any of them know about this? John Legend or any of these guys? Mark Ruffalo, who clearly is on the left, thinking everyone's racist because he listens to organizations like this, right? Anyway, I'm kind of wondering what some of you guys think about all this. Let me know in the comment section below, and thanks for watching.